Okay, so we're here for our follow-up session from our first video. This will be the learn video. Alright, so in our first identify video, you discussed that you wanted the kids to collaborate more, to talk more about the topics, and then we also discussed implementing a little bit of technology. Alright, so what we have decided is that we are going to use the jigsaw strategy, and we're going to implement that during your calendar time. All right, so today we're going to talk about the jigsaw strategy. We're going to kind of work together to come up with some stuff that you can use in the class. Now, unfortunately, due to the current COVID restrictions, I can't come into your classroom and model it because your school district doesn't allow visitors during the class day. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you some videos of other teachers modeling the jigsaw strategy. That way you can kind of see how it works. And then we'll kind of talk about the jigsaw strategy and kind of make a plan for your calendar time. Does that sound good?
Sounds great.
Alrighty. Okay, so just kind of recapping the videos we watched. The first video discussed the jigsaw strategy and how it works. It talked about jigsaw 1 and jigsaw 2, the possibility of how those work. The second video, we actually saw the jigsaw strategy being modeled inside a classroom. They were breaking apart and learning about plants, herbs, and all that good stuff. So you've been able to learn about the strategy, and you've also been able to see that strategy modeled in a classroom. All right. So what I have here is I have a checklist. The first checklist is from Knight, which is who kind of drives this identify, learning, and improve strategy. This is a checklist from his book about the jigsaw strategy. The second strategy, or the second checklist, is from Reading Rockets, where they have theirs put out. All right, now, based on the readings that we've had to do in this, you want to try to limit your checklist between 5 and 9 steps. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to look over both of these checklists and see if we can combine them together to kind of create our own. Okay, so if you will, start with the checklist from Knight, which is this one. It says Checklist Jigsaw. And kind of read that over, and then we'll kind of discuss it, and we'll kind of read the other one as well. All right, so let's take this first one. All right, kind of looking at both of these. You've got introduce the strategy and the topic to be studied. We've identified that we're going to do calendar time. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Says home groups, or the first group, or the first activity that they'll be doing. All right. How would you like to break up your class?
I have 4 tables in my classroom,
Okay.
groups of 4, and usually with my attendance and the students I have an even number of 4
Okay.
at each table.
All right. So of those 4 groups, you said you're going to do calendar time. How would you like to? What would you like those home, or what would you like the study areas to be?
We go over days of the week,
So days,
months,
months.
patterns with the numbers of the day.
All right. Pattern on the calendar.
Yes.
Okay.
And then season.
And seasons. Okay. All right, so we'll say in the home group, you said you got 4 at each table. One student would be a day, in the day group. That would be their expert group. Another student would be months. That would be their expert group. Another student would be pattern. That would be their expert group. And then seasons. That would be their expert group. Okay. Now, how would you... see, how would we want to teach, or how would we want this to work in their home group? Because remember, in their home group, they individually study. They can't read very well, right?
Right.
Okay. So let's think about something that we could do to implement maybe some technology to help them review or learn about each one of these topics. Do you have any ideas?
I could have a Screencastify or whatever. Screencast-O-Matic.
Screencast-O-Matic, yes.
I'm used to Screencastify. I could have a Screencastify video of myself going over for the people who are going to be going over days. I could be teaching them about days through that Screencastify and have them a link in their Google Classroom of my Screencastify teaching about their specific topic.
Okay, I like
and they
that.
could pull from that information.
All right, so a screencast. Okay, and we're gonna put the link in Google Classroom. So it's going to be very specific to the group. I like that. Classroom, specific to the groups. Okay. All right, so, well then what we'll do is, it'll take a little bit more preparation on your part, but, you'll record a short little video about the days, a short little video about the months, a short little video about the patterns, and a short little video about the seasons. You'll have the groups pre-planned. You'll have those links in their Google Classroom. All right, so initially they'll start in their home group or their jigsaw group, however you want to label that. What they could do is they could watch the video in that group. And then what do you think that we could provide? Because since they struggle with reading, they struggle with writing, being as young as they are, what could you do or what could we do to help them take notes or something from the video?
Probably like a word bank, because they're used to seeing the words the days of the week, because we put the words into the calendar. So a word bank with each day of the week, a word bank with the months of the year, and a word bank with the seasons, and then the patterns. Like for this month, it's October, pumpkin bat, candy corn, pumpkin bat, candy corn.
Okay. All right, I like that idea. So what we could do is, once again, a little bit more preparation on your part. Prior to them coming in, you'd know what groups they're in. You would have the link in their individual Google Classroom, and you would have basically their individual note or worksheet page assigned to them, so that you know exactly who's getting what worksheet, so that they've got the proper word bank. All right, so I like that. All right, so whenever they go to their expert groups, whenever they get to their expert groups, they're going to need to discuss. All right, each little individual in the group is going to bring their own input from what they got from the video. And they'll compile or revise their notes into a good solid set of notes before they go back and check or present to their home group or their jigsaw group. The group's got to kind of come up with a consensus for accuracy on what needs to be taught. Do you think you could handle just kind of checking in with each group before they go back to the jigsaw groups to present?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So before they go back to their home group or their jigsaw group, once again, implementing a little bit of technology here. There's a couple different things we could do. There's all kinds of digital graphic organizers that they could present, but once again, you say they don't type very well or you spell very well. So I was thinking about like a recording. So I'm thinking about Flipgrid. And for Flipgrid, what they would do is record maybe like a little 30-second video. Inside their expert groups, each individual would break out individually on their own, record a 30-second video, and then they would return to their home group or their jigsaw group, and then they could just show that video. Does that sound like something you'd like to try?
Yeah.
All right. We'll talk about Flipgrid in just a moment. All right, so whenever they get back to their home group or their jigsaw group, they'll present their videos, and the good thing is they can watch it multiple times. They don't have to keep representing it. If the kids want to watch it 2 or 3 times to get all the information, all they got to do is just hit play again. How would you want to assess the group's learning?
If I did this lesson on a Monday, I could have, considering I have 4 groups, I could start on Tuesday. The one group would do the calendar time for that day. And Wednesday, another group. Thursday, so the rest of the 4 days of the week, each group would have their own day.
Okay. Something we also need to kind of think about. How would you make sure that every individual is participating? Like, whenever they present to the class, you got 4 people. Would the expert from that group present that, or would you have somebody? Would you have them kind of rotate so that to see if they actually learned from the expert?
I like the idea of, okay, the person who learned the weeks, the months of the year, I want you to present to the whole class the days of the week. See if you learned it from the days of the week expert. And the person who did days of the week, you present the pattern. See if you learned from the pattern expert.
I like that. Yes. All right. So I like that. All right. And then so we've discussed the strategy. We've discussed how you're going to implement the strategy. Once again, we got our 4 groups: day, months, the pattern, and the season. We've discussed once again how you're going to assess with the groups presenting each week. We've discussed some preparation on your part. You've got to record the videos prior, the links in the Google Classroom, knowing who's in what group so you can give them the correct note page or the worksheet with the word bank. All right, the only other thing that we've got to discuss that you'll have to work on and teach the kids is Flipgrid. All right, so we've got Flipgrid pulled up here. All right, and what we want to do is, or what we've already done, is we've set you up a Flipgrid account, plus we've set you up a topic, and we've got Hardin's calendar time. All right, and the kids will be given an access code, and they'll be able to go in individually just by typing in the access code, and they'll be able to record their 30-second video, and they can take that back to their group. Another beautiful thing about Hardin's calendar time is you can actually, whenever you have time, go in and watch the individual videos yourself. So you can actually assess what they presented to their group, since you won't be able to be at every table all the time. So you could actually go back and assess each individual video. What do you think about this strategy and our plan to implement it?
It sounds great. I hope it works as well as it does on paper. It sounds fun. I think the kids would enjoy it. They would be more engaged because of the technology, because each student has their own Chromebook they love to use. And I think it would be effective.
Do you think this will get them, like you wanted, collaborating more and talking more about calendar time and helping each other out?
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. Today is Sunday, October 25th. We've talked about you implementing this strategy on Tuesday, October 27th. All right, just that way it kind of gives you a little bit of time to record the videos and get things together. All right, so what I'll do is I will follow up with you on Tuesday after you've presented and the kids have participated in the activity. I'll kind of see how it goes, and we'll come up with a strategy. If there's something that we want to change or anything like that. Does that sound like a plan? All right. Well, thank you, and I'll definitely be talking with you on Tuesday.